Why, hello there, and welcome to my discussion on how to engage and inspire people. Now, you'll notice at this first slide, I've written part one. And I call it part one because really anyone who can tell you they can give you one presentation to tell you how to engage and inspire everybody is lying to you. So, this is just kind of initially, this was a presentation I did for a job application, but it's something that I believe in, and that is that people work better for a leader if they're engaged and they're inspired in what they do. And so the question then becomes, well, what does that mean and how do I do it as a leader? So this is just kind of some basic thought process. You'll see here on this next slide that the first thing I do is define engage. Now, of course, I immediately just went to dictionary.com like everyone's going to do on a computer, um, and found that what I really liked about this is to occupy their efforts, their attention and their efforts. So if you engage someone, you're focusing them onto a common goal or to a common task. And that's really something that's hard to do with people that have their own motives and their own agendas and their own ideas. And so that's one concept that I really like is someone who's engaged is really motivated or focused on one specific kind of thing. Now, the next thing you'll see that we have here is how to define inspire. Again, same thing. Just went on dictionary.com. But I like this because it's a animating, a quickening, an exalting influence. These are great connotative words that talk about someone who's inspired and has the brainstorm and is excited and really happy about what they're doing, and that is amazing. So if I can get someone focused and engaged, right, and to be happy and motivated and inspired to do work and to do a task, that is amazing. And those are really the best people to work with. Now, I say with because remember, I don't care what your status is in a job. We all work with each other as human beings. So, let's talk about why inspiration matters. Why do you care if they're inspired? I mean, honestly, we can just have somebody do a task and not care about it, not be inspired by it. In reality, that's the best way to get better quality. Um, get more of what you're looking for. Get better versions of what you're looking for. And the most important part about this is happier employees. Now, this entire presentation is based off my personal experiences, in my job experiences, and in my military career. And I'm going to tell you that people who are happier at work do better work. So if you can do what you can do to get obstacles out of their way and just let them do the task, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a better product, whatever it is the task is or the product is. So if you look at them and you say, okay, well, they're, this so motivated, this person's only this motivated today, and they're responsible for driving you home, do you feel safe in that vehicle? And that's really kind of my go-to on that is would I feel safe with you behind the wheel of my car at that level of motivation? The answer is no. As a leader, I have to do something to fix that. So, what inspires somebody? How do I inspire somebody? That's the whole point of this presentation for you, right? If you're watching this and you're not my professor for school, you're going, well, how do I do it, Denise? And there's multiple ways to do it. Some people just want more money. You do a really good job, you get more money. Here's an annual award. Some people want time off. Someone just want an award, something you can put on their desk. Some people just want a recognition. Some people just want to thank you, an attaboy. I appreciate what you're doing here. But the most important part about inspiring somebody is finding out what inspires them. So how do you do that? You freaking ask them. So this is what I have seen missing in my time as a civilian employee in the military. So many leaders tried to guess what inspired somebody or tried to guess what would motivate somebody. And in reality, you can just ask the person, hey, what's going on in your life? What can I do to make things better for you? Some people just wanted obstacles taken out of their way. They already were inspired by the work they were doing, but they were getting beaten down by obstacles in their way. So I didn't have to give them extra things. I didn't have to give them extra recognition. They didn't want it. They just wanted me to remove the hardships they were going through with their job. That's something I can do, especially as a leader. Um, Even in large groups, you can do anonymous feedback. Hey, what does the majority of the group do? Always accept that feedback. And I'm a huge fan of Simon Sinek. If you've not seen him, I highly recommend YouTubing him. I've been fortunate enough to see him in person once, and I've got his books, and I watch him on the YouTube, and just a phenomenal speaker. But one of the most important things he brought up that I was just stunned that people had never thought of was just ask why. Ask the why. Why am I doing this? Why do I care? Why should they care? Why should my other coworkers care? And why are they not providing the best that they can provide? And if you can find the answers to those questions, and typically you know them, it's a lot easier to help inspire them. So there are different ways to see people and to talk to them and to help inspire them. Now, there's always the initial meetings. The initial meeting of meeting a new coworker, especially if you're somebody that you're leading, your initial, sit down review with them. Don't go in immediately and go, this is what I expect of you. Ask them about themselves. You should care. And if you don't care, you probably personally shouldn't be in a leadership position, personal opinion, but you should care about what your employees are doing. So ask them, how are you doing? What's your life like? What can I do for you? What are you expecting out of this job, kind of thing. Um, Performance reviews, they don't have to be formal. They don't have to be quarterly performance reviews. Sometimes it's just nice if someone finishes a big task. You go, hey, you know what? You did a really good job on that task. This is something you did that I liked. What I like about that variation of it, as opposed to saying this is something I did, as opposed to just saying you did a good job, is tell them what they did well that you truly appreciated. Because it shows a couple of things. One, as a leader, it shows that you have actually watched what they did and did more than just good job, go do more work, right? You actually were able to pinpoint something they did specifically well. You give them something to focus on that they go, oh, I can do this kind of concept well. Maybe I'll work on this other thing next time. And you've given them something that they can mentor somebody else about. Oh, hey, the boss liked how I did that. Let me show you how I did it. They liked how I organized this, or whatever it was that you said they did well. So it gives them a lot of things that they can use to personally motivate themselves. Um, I cannot stress enough consistent meet and greets. And I'm not talking about going in, saying hello, and running out of the office. Right now, my boss comes into my office every day, every morning when he walks in the building. And he kind of says, like, hey, how's everyone's day? What'd you guys do last night? Here's what I did, kind of thing. Not in depth. We're not talking about, a 4 hour conversation. Just kind of a how's it going? What's the big things going on around you? He knows the name of my dog. He knows that I have a brother who has 2 kids. He knows that my brother's in Oklahoma. Just little things like that to know. Um, and he does it relatively consistently. So I have no problem going to him and saying, "Look, I have this issue. Here's what's going on," because I know that he has some background on what's going on, and we know the name of his wife. We know, what kind of vacation they're looking for. It's just stuff like that, just little things that you wouldn't think are a big deal. But guess what? It's showing that we're all human, and I think that gets lost a lot in the employee leader relationship, is the humanity of it. And I know that there's been a lot of like Facebook memes and comment talks and TED Talks of where they say, if you can't name the janitor of the building that you're in, are you really caring about everyone at every level? And I think that's valid. I mean, I can tell you the lady who cleans our office name is Miss Martha, and she comes in every morning. She's got 3 kids. She had 4. Her son had died. I'm aware of this because I just chat with her when I walk around with her. Um, Go talk to people, see how they're doing, ask questions. You should be treating everybody like you want to be treated, and I know that's the golden rule, but not everyone actually follows that. And then, of course, you have your frontline supervisors. So I don't expect, you know, the CEO equivalent of my office to come down and talk to me every morning. But if he has a question or he wants to know what's going on, he's probably going to go to the supervisors. And absolutely, you should. I don't disagree with going down and seeing everyone ever so often, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if the CEO equivalent comes down to visit me at my office, I'm gonna be terrified. I'm not gonna sit and chat with him like I talk to my boss, because that's 4 or 5 levels above me. Let's just talk about the worker bee level. So do what's comfortable for your workers. Go in and visit, but at the same point in time, understand that if you're that high up, maybe you should be talking more with the supervisors than anything else. Now, we talked a lot about little things today, and mostly this presentation is something that I put together, like I said, originally for a job application. Now I'm putting it together for a degree that I'm working on, which I hope all of you are still continuing your education no matter what forum you are continuing it in. And what I really wanted to put across to this is ask, talk to the people, treat them like people. People are not assets. People are not a commodity. People are not. Um, Basically, if you think that the boss in the Dobert comic could call people that, they're not that, right? People are legitimately just people. They have feelings, they have emotions, they have wants, they have needs. Um, so talk to them, find out what their needs are, find out what their wants are, and work with them. And if you give them that positive learning environment and that positive working environment, that is one of many steps forward to a better, completely awesome working environment. So thank you for listening and have a great rest of your day.